like traffic is moving a lot better through that area now. Your next traffic update at 3:08 on the traffic leader, KCBS.
We are underway. We've got foot traffic. Good thing we're not going to crush anybody. We got walkers, we got feeders, we got everything around here. You don't want to be a feeder. Hey Jennifer, how are you, honey? Good to see you around. Ronnie? Yeah, it's doing good. I'm just getting ready to get packed up for heading down to LA and Vegas. Get ready to take the show on the road. Take the show on the road. So if you're just joining us, please take a moment to hit the like button. So like up the stream, give a thumbs up, it is appreciated. Don't have any channel memberships, Patreons, GoFundMes, just you and your thumbs up. The only membership we've ever had, the only membership we will ever have. All content for all people all the time. I don't believe in special videos and behind paywall. You can see what? More of my goofy life. Who cares? What you see is what you get, folks. There ain't no hidden secret doors. It's the life of the Roosevelt, the life of the Rosie. What this big truck is doing here, it's kind of weird. Been there a while. I don't think it's delivering anything. Okay, we're trying to get the phone out of the sun. We succeeded. I'll be back in a minute, ladies and gentlemen. Talk amongst yourselves and congratulate yourselves for being here. Man, what a cool summer it's been. I don't even, what is it, 70 degrees right now? Wow, it's hard to believe. Don't worry, we'll be roasting our nuts aplenty. Jerry, how are you? Good to see everybody else. Daniel. I don't see Tribe. Let me put this thing on here. It's hard to change up this goofy thing. All right, there we go. Okay. Hey Tribe, how you doing? Oh boy. All right. I'm always afraid I'm gonna hit somebody in this parking lot, man. There's a lot of damn moving parts in this place. There are a lot of moving parts. Hoorah! Man, I was looking at some of the. That's a beautiful looking car. What the hell is that? That's a damn. No, it's a Jaguar. I was looking at, somebody was asking me to comment on what was going on down at Newport Beach in Orange County there. I don't know, man. I mean, kids out wild, and what am I going to do? Come on, God, bro. Are we going to move, or what are we doing? Are we moving? Are we goofing? Or we don't know what we're doing? We're just kind of drifting around. Mystery, hello. How are you? Happy Monday, everybody. I reckon it's the 6th. I got my allergy shot today. And I have to say, I'm going to do a video tomorrow giving my thoughts on now having gone through 15 months of allergy shots. Might be able to help some people out that do have allergies, because it wasn't a low year, it wasn't a high year, but it was a year. And maybe somebody will get some encouragement and some use out of it. You know, it's a long road. First they start you like, I can't remember, once a week or something, twice a week. It was something crazy. And 2 times a week they give you some. I guess somebody knows me. They're waving and doing everything else. Trying to get the Roosevelt's attention. Well, we are in summer. We're not in the dog days of summer, which I define as the last 2 weeks of August and the first 2 weeks of September are officially, hey Cindy, the dog days. We've only been in summer about two weeks or so anyway, statistically. So welcome in. I did gas up today. I've decided I'm going to take the van down. The weather just doesn't look that off-putting to me. Looks like we're going to top out in Vegas maybe around 110, which is fine. That's very doable in my wheelhouse. It looks like some storm might be coming in the day after I arrive on Monday. I don't know. It's weird to have a July storm. So welcome in. If you've not hit the thumbs up button, please take a second to do so. It is appreciated. So yeah, I've decided to take the van just because it's easier to carry. It can carry more stuff. And I just, you know, does she have one more trip on her? Probably. We'll come back at about 155,000 miles. But we're still rolling. We still haven't gotten that 24 karat car repair and 10 hours of shop time. Hello, Angus Kisses, how are you? Where's this dude going? This boy's carrying a load. So I'm going to do a video tomorrow about the allergy. I'm going to get packed up tomorrow. How are you doing today, Mystery? Are you fragile today, or are we more solid, or we're on more solid ground? What if you looked over and saw Dong? How would I recognize you? You mean on the street or in the chat? Dong from Ashtabula, Ohio? Our Dong? I wouldn't know him from Adam. I wouldn't know Dong at all. Our boy Dong. We always outlast all the Dongs of the world because they're here to just troll, and when they get tired and they don't get any uptake and they don't get people clicking on their links, trying to commandeer your channel. We got Wonder Boy back here, so we got the Wonder Bread 9 over here. Am I on the right side here? I don't even know. Oh, hell, I wish I could see straight. Where is Dong? I think Miss Tree gets. I think Miss Tree gets a few laughs. Man, how hard have I hit that thing over the years? Wow, that's funny as hell. All right, let's get underway here. One of these days, I'm going to take that pole clear down over there. Welcoming everybody. Happy Monday. We're gonna let the air in. I don't know. Is this guy tweaking or what are we doing? What are we doing? I don't know what the hell he's doing. It was the poll's fault. It always is. What do you have, gas tonight, Mystery? Are you a gassy grandma? I feel like this weather has just been too good to be true for the summer. I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop. But man, you can imagine how well the garden's doing. I got such beautiful, beautiful crops. I get back from the trip, man, we're gonna have like a canning a go-go. Hey Plooney, how you doing from good old Amsterdam? What's going on in Amsterdam? Did Holland make it through to the World Cup? Or did they trip over their wooden shoes? Oh, they didn't make it through. Damn. I brought back my sister a pair of wooden shoes from Holland. The coolest thing in Holland was, what was it called? Schenwagen or something? The beach area there on the North Sea. That was pretty Schenwagen. I don't know. What am I, Dutch? I know how to pronounce Dutch. Really? I'm lucky I can say Amsterdam. Yeah, wooden shoes. And I actually went to the Delft factory where they make Delft. And instead of getting the blue and white, I got the color Delft. I'm not for Holland anyway. Yeah, well, they were having a little mini riot in Schenwagen, is that it? They were having a little riot in San Jose last night when Mexico lost. I was wondering why the neighborhood was so quiet. How you doing, Dr. Frankenstein? It's nice to see you. Yeah, it was suspiciously quiet last night. So Mexico is officially out of the World Cup. Yeah, we're doing. We get our board game or whatever. Yeah, it was. I think I also went to the cheese markets where the guys carry those, look like gondolas or whatever the hell they are with cheese. I haven't seen Corky in months. Corky could be, he might be institutionalized, he might be in lockup. Joshua, how are you? He could have been flattened by a train. They used to call you Mamita. They used to call me Titas Grande. Sean, how are you? Yeah, Mamita. I had that guy that followed me around Mexico City. He wanted a piece of Rosie. He had the rose in his teeth. How you doing, Judy? Nice to see you. So, yeah, Rosie's an international traveler. Maybe Ding is quirky. I don't think so, Mystery. I don't think anybody in their right mind would waste time pretending that they live in Korea. Like, how much time do you spend, Mystery, on the Korean chat boards? Might be, yeah, he might be visiting Greta. That's great. Greta's kind of lost traction, Dr. Frankenstein. There's not a lot to sink your hooks into right now. We're kind of in the interregnum period. We're in the intermission. It's hard to figure out. I mean, there's peace in Gaza and in Palestine. There's no missiles flying around. These are really dark days for Greta. I think the world is at most as peace it's been in months. It's a good time for young lovers. I don't think there'll be any more hot shooting over in the Gulf. I am not a Mrs. in Nice Falls. I am not a Meshuggah, and I like a Nice Falls sugar maple. Are you fragile today, Mystery? Yeah, so I decided, Doctor, I'm going to take the van down. I got all my stuff in here. It's only going to take me about 15 minutes to get squared away. The temperature situation does not look that bad to me. We're looking at 108, 110 topping out somewhere around there. I mean, shit, we've been in 123. So, to me, it looks quite doable. Oof. Almost got the old side crunched in, didn't you? So somebody asked me to do a video about the 4th of July and what do I think about what happened in Raleigh, right down where Mystery is there over the 4th of July, down in Orange County, Newport Beach, all the craziness that happened with the looting and throwing fireworks at police and all that stuff. So, I mean, what are you going to say about it? People got, these rich kids with nothing to do. That's what you say about it. It's not enough to hang a video on. We have young lovers around today. You put a bunch of kids between 14 and 25 together, yeah, you're going to have some fireworks. That's all I got to say. That's it. Joshua, I've been to Voodoo Donuts in Portland. And I was met outside by some very mean protesters who accused the owners of trafficking. And they had flyers, and I said, you know, they're, oh, you better not be going in there to buy a donut. You better not be going into, if we're going to remember you if you go into this. I said, look, dude, I don't even eat donuts. I'm here to do a travel video. These people are trafficking. You should not give them any attention. I'm like, look, I got a tiny YouTube channel. Do you think anybody's ever going to really see? Yeah, but I don't, you know, I don't, you know, you want to do that. Read this about how they're trafficking kids out of Voodoo Donuts. It turned out the whole thing was a bunch of bullshit. They let people get married. They hate donuts and marriage sucks. Well, Joshua, you can say what you want about it, but when you have Taylor Swift marrying Travis Kelce and the presiding, officiating person is Adam Sandler, I can understand why you feel the way you feel. No, Mystery, you got to kind of watch your mouth, hon. You're a foreigner in a foreign land. I know it's on my trip videos. It was very off-putting because you couldn't walk 2 feet without finding a pole. A light pole, a telephone pole, power pole. How you doing, Chess, without somebody having plastered something on it about don't go to this business. These people are capitalist pigs. Stay away from here. These people don't pay well. And it was like, wow. The whole place. Yeah, Taylor girl. I'm not against her, but I'm just saying, is there anything that makes a mockery of it more than that? I mean, I can't think of it. Yeah, keep going, keep going, jury. Boy, for the first time in a chat, you certainly shoot your mouth off. You should be such a successful man. Maybe you wouldn't be trolling on YouTube. Just a thought. While she's counting her hundreds of millions. Oh, it's my favorite traffic officer. Looking kind of peeved. Looking kind of peeved. Yeah, I never said anything negative about her as a person. I mean, she seems to be a decent source. She kept her nose out of the coke. She kept her nose out of that. And, you know, been rocking along pretty good for a lot of years, dude. You gotta respect the... you gotta respect what's been accomplished. Like the old, you just miss me hanging out with me one day. Yeah, well, you know, I'm 68 years old, Joshua. A lot of times, bro, it just ain't in me. Pop-up parties, and now the streets are 50% more dangerous than they were before the pandemic. You know, that's the reality of things these days. It's just people are too hopped up on smack, and you know, they're blowing bath salts, doing everything except sniffing model glue down there these days. It just makes people very, very shaky. But I do talk to people. We'll see Dennis again. I do enjoy stopping and talking to people. Yeah, I don't know who Zena LeVay is. Yeah, I'm going down in a couple days. I'm going to LA, and then I'm rolling on to Vegas. So we got a week down there. There's going to be 3 mega streams. I believe it'll be 3. It'll be no less than 2. And then there'll be other content too. I'll get a good feel for what's going on. I might see if Mr. Wazie's willing to go to the Circus buffet so we can just see just how bad it is. Give you a report from the trenches. I've had a lot of people wrote me since I mentioned it and said, "Oh yes, please go there." That's like the worst of the worst of the worst. Zena and Taylor are twins. You think they were mangled at birth? The battery life on the new phone is fine. It's going to be about 5 or 6 hours. You know, we got the other new battery, which I'm taking too, which is flawless. It's the big boy. I'm going to pack everything very carefully. We got the phone coolers. We're going to have a lot of cords running around, but we're going to make it happen. We're going to make sure everything works okay. Because we head out at 4 o'clock, we're in the max heat of the day, so we have to be able to survive basically 3 hours. I never go anywhere really without a battery. The Bluetooth is not going to work on a live stream. It'll work for recorded video, Ronnie. Well, maybe it will. I don't know. I haven't tried it. You know, come to think of it, it could work okay, but do you think it's that noisy on the street? She looks like she could birth a baby, no problem, Mystery. She's wide in the withers. How you doing, Joni? Maybe Joni has some of Taylor Swift's music, I don't know. Do you have some of her on cassette? While you're working on your truck camper? I like her a lot. That's cool. Duncan may be in Canada by October part-time. One's going to get into serious trouble. Wow, what's going on with Tim Hortons? It's so damn good. They use 100% real cream when you get it. No half and half. They're like my gold standard for coffee. Absolute gold, Timmy's. I never had the Timmy's bits though, the little donut chompers. Please hit the thumbs up. Make sure this baby gets nice and cold. I have to have maximum battery power, Ronnie, you know that. Okay, the blue light is on. Ooh, that gets cold. Hiring outside workers or Indian and their products are not standard, people are saying. Hiring all Indian. From India? Boy, that gets cold. Can you imagine that baby just sucks that heat right out? Problem is we have to use the other one because this mounts this way and there's really not enough room when you hook on the holder on it. So this is like a backup unit. But boy, does that get cold. It's all about the configuration. Well, if they're hiring workers from India, don't they have to pay the wage? I don't even know. Yeah, hit that thumbs up. They got fathers in the coffee shop. They're not in there. So, Jerry, they're illegals, or is that what I'm hearing? We have illegalos. Those Hyundai Santa Fe's are nice, man. The lines are so clean. It's bimetallic cooling. When you have metal, the molecular flow of electricity across two different metal surfaces is different. So the more active one draws the molecules off of the slower, causing a cooling. Some illegal, there are students from other countries. So people are talking about this, Jerry, huh? I don't know if Canada has a minimum wage. I have no idea. You don't hear a lot about Canada these days. To me, the worst part about what you told me is that the quality is starting to, because Tim's got bought out by somebody. Didn't Tim Hortons get bought out by, like General Motors or something? IBM or something? Who in the hell owns Tim Hortons now? Yum Brands. Who in the hell owns them? Quality, everything is on. Miss Tree, it's a race to the bottom, hon. If they could figure out a way to put sawdust into your Parmesan cheese and into your Honey Nut Cheerios you eat, yeah, they would do it. Good old food extenders. Yeah, I thought Tim Hortons was pretty bulletproof. Hell, you can even order their coffee online. Somebody sent me down a big can of it years ago when I came back from Canada. I'd have 3 big Timmys every damn day. I lived at Timmy's. Me and all my Chinese friends would be in there in Scarborough in the afternoon. O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot, love all thy sons. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. What's up, Robert? Oh Canada, I love to hear you. You have to know this, Jerry. Every corporation that sells food, manufacturers, a few that still make something, they're all, remember, drinking bottles used to be thicker, and then they became like, now they're like what? They're so thin. I'm homesick for a place that doesn't exist. Can you relate? You should go up to Lake Wobegon in Minnesota and stick your toes in one of the 1,000 lakes. Or go visit the Land O'Lakes Creamery. So thin the planet. Even soda cans. I had an unopened can of Coke Zero here when I was in Las Vegas in March when it hit that 100, that weird stretch we had. Man, it came out, it was my inside of my windshield was all sprayed. I was like, what the hell is this? It took forever to get that off. Thank goodness it wasn't sugar. I was like, what is this? Can is so thin. So I dare not leave anything in the van in the way of the... I'll take that soda and that beer right in. So Miss Tree, you have to adapt to the new world, babe. Dvorak's New World Symphony. Soda bomb. Big glass body used to explode and send shards of glass flying. Yeah, I want to get a couple sport coats, some nice button-down shirts, pick up my image some for the fall. Be styling. Do. I miss the old day when I would rock on the porch drinking tea with my grandma. Was she sober? Yeah, nice jacket to pair. I'm going to start being a trendsetter, as befits my station in life. Chinos and... You know, look at this, man. I finally got some holders. Holy hell. I feel like a white boy now. That's it. So, Miss Tree, you know, perhaps you should have a couple drinks. I found that having Friday, Saturday night, having a couple shots really becomes like a little bit of an anchor that draws you. It makes you feel happy. And yeah, it gives you a little bit of spice. You don't get all messed up. It's just, you know, everybody has a good time. Yeah, maybe you should take it up. I'm going to suggest next time you're at the liquor store to pick up a nice fifth of Four Roses. Sit out there, pour a little bit over some ice on a evening when the breeze is blowing in Raleigh, and think of those golden days gone by. The beautiful leaves in the trees, the sound of the wind gently rustling the leaves. Grandma and I would sit on that porch for hours, talking about I can't even remember what. We were rocking. We were communicating without a word being said. Oh, Roosevelt, I have tears in my eyes. Are you sexually frustrated, Mystery? Is that what I'm hearing? Cold beer. Simon from Poland, what's going on? Sprawl, what you going? What are you doing? How you doing, buddy? All the best from Poland. My man. You and me both, Mystery. I've cut it off. Spiritually speaking. What's love got to do with it? Poland is doing good. We can all learn. Canada can. Jerry's in a mood today, man. Hey, Dr. Frankenstein, have you ever heard Jerry talk so much about Canada and like Tim Hortons and stuff? He's on a roll today. Jerry, what the hell happened today? Jerry's like, don't stop me. I'm pissed off, man. I'm barely contained here. I'm going nuclear. Like a bit of berkelium in a laboratory. I'm going off, man. The laws are changing here. I tell you what, Jerry, the times they are changing. Mystery, you need a suitor to give you flowers. You need to feel loved. Pancakes were substandard. And don't even mention pancakes. There's a sad reality. They used to have a starburst pattern on them. Now they just come out as just griddle cakes. This damn thick. I could have cried when they came out the door in Vegas. I just said that's the end. I just buried the dream forever. When you're going to come in the morning and you're going to make 200 basically half layer cakes, put them under a heat lamp. How you doing, Alan Gentry? I'm an American. That's okay, Jerry. I think it's cool. The worst was the ball. There'll be nothing to equal the Quiznos ball sack sub, because you know it could only have been one of two things: either ball sack or esophagus. That's it. It was like accordion. I was like, this is roast beef? I never had roast beef. The guy's like, I said, you eat this stuff? All of a sudden I get a crowd around me like, oh man. I said, this is ball sack. And everybody, and within a year, Quiznos was gone. The famed ball sacks up. Now that's a perfect case of what Jerry was talking about, of a corporation that goes out of its way to find the lowest common denominator of what the United States Department of Agriculture might call, quote, meats, unquote, and put that onto your menu. And then what do they have? They just call it beef. What else are you going to call it? List of ingredients, ball sack. Mechanically separated pork hearts. Pretty doggone funny. All of these places are trying to figure out how to give you the least for the most. It's a shame because it sets up an adversarial relationship with the customer. Like, why isn't somebody making generic chocolate bars, like a generic milk chocolate bar? Remember the generic black and white can products? Everything was generic. They had to put it in just white container with a black borders around it. The early days of generics. When you get some what, Carol? Cheerios. I mean, my mother flocked to that like a bee to honey, man. Anything with white box with black lettering. They had a whole section of the supermarket just called generics. Generic prison spaghetti sauce. How you doing, Naomi? I'm saddened about Tim Hortons. That was like my gold standard of coffee. And I never had a donut or a Timbit or any of that crap. It's getting to the point I can't even stand to even look at a donut. I can smell that grease it's been fried in. I used to like the fried raisin buns from New System Bakery in Baltimore. They were good. But that's another one the rats might have shut it down. Maybe that was the one. No, that was Silber's Bakery. Yeah. What a tragedy. Now I confirmed yesterday, yes, you can buy a dollar house in Baltimore. You can buy a dollar house, but you have to have $90,000 in liquid resources, and you have 1 year to fix the place up and get an approved occupancy permit. And it's going to be in a dicey area. I mean, you will be an object of curiosity in the neighborhood, for one of putting it more delicately. You will be. It'd be a hell of a project, wouldn't it? Be like a real pioneer. Make sure you're on all messages, everybody, and not stuck on this doggone top chat. And please hit the thumbs up button. We're way behind on thumbs up today. So tomorrow, tomorrow's the last day in town. Wednesday, I'm underway early. I should be rolling into LA around noon. Got to make a couple stops, drop off some stuff. See a couple people, and then I hope to bring some good content down there. And then Sunday it is off to Las Vegas. No need to rush up there because it's only about 4 hours or so. And the good news is most of the traffic's coming the other way. You don't want to be in that melee leaving in Sunday. Yeah, there's not a cloud in the sky. We had a big marine layer today. I didn't see much other in the way of news today except what went on the 4th of July in Newport Beach. But I don't know what to say about it. Kids like to be wilding. Yeah, I hope to go back to Malibu. It's tempting. Roll up to Pacific Palisades too. Nice little jaunt down there. I find it hard to believe, I heard they've only issued 2 building permits because they want everything's got to be built up to new code. There were old septic sewage systems. There were piping, water issues, inadequate sewers. So
You by chance have $5 so I can get on the train?
no, honey.
Thanks.
$5. I don't think I've ever seen anybody. I don't think I've ever had anybody ask me for $5. That's cheeky. Five spot. It's like Night of the Living Dead around here. How you doing, Bunky? Oh, to wait till the train runs, walk up to her. Here's the train. Let's go get your ticket. I'm not going anywhere. Thought you were a tourist at the station. Yeah, she was kind. But you know, when you're taking off down towards the mission, you're not going to the train. So. This other poor guy, every day he comes to catch the cans, but there's a guy that comes 15 minutes before him, gets all the cans. Yeah, $5. I never had somebody ask $5. Usually, if somebody asks, "Hey, you got $1?" I'll give them $2. Yeah, inflation. Yeah, you got a 20. No, she said, could I get $5 for the train? Then takes off. It's like, the train's that way, honey. You know, I'll pop $1 or $2, but I'm not gonna give you $5. Yes, Jerry, there's normal inflation like you would experience now when there's very high demand for chips, for memory chips and for processed chips. There's extreme demand. So, of course, like Samsung came out today or over the weekend and said, we're going to raise the price 20% for our chips. That's normal high demand situation. The other is when you take in $3 trillion to the U.S. Treasury and you spend $5 trillion. Now, where does the difference come from? Well, it hasn't been earned through normal taxation and travels to find its way into the Treasury. You either borrow it or you monetize it. You just make book entries, the Federal Reserve buys it. I.e. buying lemonade from your own lemonade stand and booking it as revenue. So of course, when you're dumping $2 trillion a year of purchasing into an economy that's not been earned through normal commerce, supply and demand channels, of course it's going to have a distorting effect. Look at what it does. You're competing against people with Section 8 vouchers, people with food stamps. I'm not saying whether people should have it or not. I'm just saying there's a reality that comes for spending what you don't have. And the reality is that everybody pays the price for it with overinflated prices for goods and services. There's the problem with, and what happens, you kick that can down to your grandkids, kids and grandkids. Now they have to pay that $40 trillion that you consumed. And suppose the ability to earn that money and generate that revenue and get that taxes isn't there. Suppose the human economy shrinks. Now you got a double-edged sword. You got rapidly rising debt sucking more money down, and you have less ability to pay it back. Yeah, you're also, yes, exactly. When you have trillions of dollars sloshing around that's not being properly, economically spent, you start to put pressures on everything, housing, everything. Middle class has never been a feature in any era of any world history. Are we paying for those stimulus checks? Yes, of course. But you're not, but your children and grandchildren will be expected to. They get no benefit out of it. So when you have $40 trillion of debt and you throw your kids and grandkids a shovel and tell them to get digging, the middle class has never been a feature of any society. Middle class is a class in transition. It's a temporary thing. 10% of people have always controlled 90% of resources through economic history. And technology has been the hyper concentration of that now. Look at the Magnificent Seven. Fast food deliverers boggles my mind. Is because they're insulated from the effects of paying on a credit card and things like that. When Uber Eats had to introduce Dine Now, Pay Later, when you had to basically borrow money to feed yourself, Dine Now, Pay Later. And who gets rich off of that? Not the restaurants. A technology company that all they do is just book the business. That's it. They don't cook anything. They don't produce anything. They're just the ultimate extortionist in the economy. Your convenience costs dearly. I wouldn't even know how in the hell to order food. I've been kind. People have sent in alcohol before. They've sent in food. It's just, there's something debased about if you have that level of money available to pay the upcharge of having convenience. And now it looks like interest rates want to go higher, so it's going to put more pressure on the deficit, the debt. Sit on it a few times. That looked like Chick-fil-A did. Looked like they sat on it. I was like, I'm looking at this smushed down thing. So, I don't know, Dr. Frankenstein. It's like a lot of people would say, Rosie, you don't understand it. It's a function of a more evolved society. If we have things become more convenient and there's less people cooking, theoretically there's more productivity somewhere else in the economy. In other words, they would say we've moved past the time where people can effectively cook for themselves in a way that would be compatible with the cost of food, of having fast food and things like that. You look at a 7-Eleven, I can't tell you how many, I can't make a pizza at home for $7.99. I can make it. It'll be better than theirs, but the average person is not going to fiddle around with a barbecue grill and working dough and all that. If it tastes good, spit it out according to Doc. That's it. What's up, Steve Fowler? How you doing, buddy? How you doing? So they might say, people used to grind their own corn and wheat, mill it. Is it cost effective to go back and mill your own wheat and grind it? Like somebody the other day said, why are houses 2.25 times bigger than they were in 1920? From 1,000 square feet to 2,400 for smaller families. Hunger is a great motivator. Yes, it's great for innovation. So we've had this distortion where, the whole nation's been living on one enormous credit card here. But now, as Trump knows, is getting very uncomfortable. The cost of that credit card is starting to hurt. Then we threw another $100 billion on for military stuff. I can see it, Dr. Frankenstein. That's the untold truth that people don't want to hear. You see what goes on around the nation in Raleigh, North Carolina, Newport, the next generation coming up. They're not going to be in a fine mood. They're not going to be in a good mood. That's why the best thing is to have nothing and like it. We are charging, Ronnie. Thank you. Anybody will tell you they can feel you can feel the pulse of young people. People graduate with a computer science degree and end up jerking coffee at Starbucks. Yeah, they're probably going to feel a little out of sorts. Yeah, tearing stuff apart. Exactly. It's a big FU. they see all these gassy grandmas out protesting on the corners and things, it doesn't even relate to them. They're like, yeah, you go home to your nice $1.1 million Sebastopol home. Okay. Yeah, and then tell everybody else what they're supposed to do with that, and that they can't smoke a cigarette or they can't cook outside on their grill. Yeah, go ahead. I can feel it, Dr. Frankenstein. I feel it. Less stuff available. Definitely less stuff available, Alan. I've noticed that too. The cost of maintaining inventory is high. As interest rates go up, you're paying so much a month to have that stuff on the shelf. And I have definitely noticed that there is much less stuff on the shelf these days. I don't know. I only drink Gatorade when I'm out and about when it's hot weather. But I can tell you the butter has such a high water content in it now. Diane C. wrote me the other day, she said, you made a good choice with the Kerrygold. Yeah, I can tell the difference. But hell, it's $8. Hey, thanks, Steve. That's me, man. That's it, man. Now I got my sunglasses holder. All you kittens out there. Yeah, 7-Eleven coffee, Steve. Hey, how's your mom doing? Yeah, the Kerrygold is good, so I decided, you know what? I'm drawing the line now. Some things I'm willing to pay a little more for. And I just decided this fake-ass watery butter with oil, emulsifiers, and all this just crap. And I just said, I'm done, man. Sure. It's easy. I've made butter before, Mystery. It's not that hard. Just bring your heavy cream home and start whipping it. When I get back from the trip, we've got to start doing some canning. We're going to have a hell of a lot of, we're going to have the onions coming in to be harvested and dried. They've got to hang up for a month or so. We're going to have lots and lots of tomatoes. Got those beautiful San Marzanos. But there comes a point where, the government has to start to make some very difficult decisions. What can we afford? They're already looking at Social Security. They can do the math. Anybody that's slightly adept at mathematics, and I'm not, but can look at that and look at actuarially speaking, this is where the pay-in is. This is where the demand is going to be. It's not going to work. Food quality of food is terrible. I look more at Medicare and Medicaid. How you doing, Brett? And I see how many single people there are with absolutely nobody to take care of them when they get older, and their health is terrible. Oh man, my buddy Steve found just the old tip in 7-Eleven. She's hanging there. Appreciate you asking, bro. You weather hotter than a buzzard dance here. Thank you very much, Steve Fowler. Great supporter of the channel. Doing God's work there, taking care of your mom. I'm proud of you. I'm very proud of you. So that's going to put a tremendous stress on the system. You know, if you haven't made plans, you know, what's going to become of you when you can't get out of your chair one day, or, you know, you slip in the bathroom. That's a hard trip, or you do something stupid like I do and fall off a damn cliff. I say you better keep tight with family. Thank you again, Steve. Thank you very much. That's the things I worry about for people, because we've got tens of millions of people who are in that boat. I would say they're about 90%, Steve. The nights are a little tough, but all good. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hope you're looking forward to LA and Vegas. So that's a big thing that people aren't thinking about. And that's going to work, there's going to be a tremendous burden there. That's when you start to get, Soylent Green. That's when you have young people saying, "Oh hell no! You've sucked enough out of our. You've sucked enough juice out of the lemon." Me, you. So what you'll probably have is the return of the almshouse, which is just a big structure people go into, and you know, it's set up like a barracks with bunk beds and common kitchen, and here's a bag of potatoes that comes in every day. Pot of soup and abundanza, baby. Well, they've done a good job of it, but let me put it this way, Steve. Nobody forces anybody to eat that stuff. And I eat a shitload of processed meat. Processed, my middle name is Processed. But I wouldn't blame anybody in the end but myself. You know, that's what people want. They want to go buy a bag of chips or Doritos and sit down at one sitting and eat a whole damn bag. Or eat a whole Pepperidge Farm bag of cookies at a sitting. You know, that's personal choice. So if you do, like doctor said, if you don't want to eat processed food, then you're really up more on the expense train. Then you really have to cut out something else in your life to make room for that. Like maybe you forgo a car. You just get by on public transportation and a bike. You know, you make the choice that I'm going to eat healthy. It's going to be all organic, all ethically raised, no hormones, no BP gasoline or whatever the hell, BPH or whatever the hell is in it. Yes, it's expensive. And I don't believe organic is organic anyway, because most all organic is just self-certified. And the you know, the temptation to just cheat the system is astronomical. Yeah, please hit the thumbs up, guys. Hit the like button. So how do you get people to change? Smoke on, drink the gum and eat the soil and green and shut up. You're smart to grow food. Yeah, but nobody. I could theoretically sustain on my place mystery, but there goes the rest of my life. I could have hundreds and hundreds of jars of canned fruits and vegetables. Hundreds of them. But there's a price to be paid for that. Time, energy, commitment. You're tied to the land. Let's see, what does it say? I've eaten tons of processed. It's so good. Yeah, it is. The only thing is to grow it yourself. Because vegetables are raised for bulk now. You pick up an onion in the store, and the damn thing is like a bowling ball. You get a chicken breast, the thing's as big as a whole chicken used to be. We never had chicken breasts that big when I was a kid. It'd be a thing maybe cover the palm of your hand. Now it's this giant piece of soil and green. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't eat pastries or any of that stuff. I can't abide pastries. I'd like to make a cake once in a while or a pie. Cancer deaths from them. Every patient died. They had 3 boosters. I don't know. I had 5 shots. I'm still rolling along. But I'm built like a tank. Anybody can take the hit off the cliff, land on a pile of boulders and rocks. Then 4 or 5 days later, take the fall. How do they do it different in France? One thing, France has a whole different philosophy. They have a whole different governmental regulatory structure. It says instead of us worrying about what's allowed or what's not allowed, we just come out and say you can't have this, 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 this. Butter has to be real butter. Bread can only be made with yeast, flour, water, and salt. That's it. That's a baguette. No fillers, no extenders, no crazy hormones on chickens. No fish with 10 heads because it gives a bigger fish or whatever. They just set the ground rules for you. So it's a much healthier style of living. Therefore, people gear up to produce to that, and there's more production. So it ends up not being that much more expensive to eat well over there. I mean, yes, I've been to France. Yeah, the ribs are awful, man. Yeah, like the German beer law, the French purity law. They just say if you're gonna have butter, it's gonna be butter, dude. It's going to be made from cream and a little bit of salt or unsalted. That's it. No water added. No emulsifiers, no bullshit. Now you either produce it at standard or don't produce it. Therefore, it changes the whole farming, the whole agriculture system. Here it's all about producing massive quantities of food. Some percentage, 10 or 20% of which goes to the garbage can. Where they say you could feed the nation of France for what's thrown away in the United States. No, I'm not from Pittsburgh or from Baltimore. Worse. Welcome in, DJ. Yeah, I mean, it's like people in France are so, well, people, oh, the food tastes so good in France, and people go there like, I'd love to go to France and spend time in France and the food scene and all that. People gravitate to it because it's just the way food used to be. I don't know if it's just the Belgians, doctor. It's here too. I don't bother you at night, yeah, I've slept in the van, but I don't. I have my own place. This is just, I haven't slept in my van in probably 2 years, so. I've done many thousands of miles traveling and using it. All right, here's our bus lady again. There she goes. She ought to just ask me for a couple bucks and just, hey, I'm at the shelter. Okay. This van is so small, nobody's ever really bothered me at night. I'll live out of our car. Yeah, well, there will be car living. I see more and more of it. Although on the one hand, it's hard to say because everything's artificially inflated. Everything's driven by the money in people's pockets, and if the money in people's pockets is left and less, and I can see the pressure in Las Vegas. You look at the casino stocks just down, down, down. You can see trouble brewing. We have a lot of new ones, Mystery. Most just enjoy just listening and not chatting, but you start taking money out of the system, and then you start to see aggregate demand go down. Demand in total. So, you know, yes, people's standard of living has to drop. People's standard of living is going down by the day. You can see it. They're paying more for housing than they've ever paid before, and they're getting less house for it, really. They're paying more for cars than they ever paid before, and higher interest rates. They're paying more for food, more for insurance, more for repairs. I mean, who doesn't dread taking a vehicle into a repair shop and you're just holding on to your sack like, oh my Lord, I hope it all works out. I don't think China's ever, there's no need to take Taiwan. You know, why do you need to take Taiwan? It's not going to go floating away. Uh, Taiwan is right where China wants it. It's no threat to anybody. Yeah, I'm just saying it's ridiculously expensive because of the amount of money that's created out of thin air every year. The supply demand is out of whack. You have $2 trillion more spending power coming in that's actually been generated through productive activity and taxation. Yeah, there's just no need. Why do you need to take something? It's not like Taiwan's going anywhere. They're a good, safe distance away. There's just no incentive to upset the apple cart. They have a very good working relationship with Taiwan. Take it from somebody who spent much time in Taiwan, China. Yeah, it's too smart. They don't waste their money with stupid wars. More for cars and public. That's right. That's right. Well, whatever. You know, I don't know. DJ. I spent 5 years in China, married to a Chinese woman. I know China, speak Chinese inside out. I know the Chinese mind. I've spent months in Taiwan. There's no incentive to upset the apple cart. No incentive whatsoever. So I have no worry about what happens in Taiwan. Shaanxi province where Black Myth was made. I can't speak about the current era. I was there immediately after Tiananmen Square. Yes, I speak Mandarin. 我会讲国语. Well, it's okay. I mean, it's not brainwashing. It's there's some pluses. There's some distinct minuses in China. I lived in China and worked there for 5 years. You learn a lot about culture. You learn a lot about people. You learn about a lot of the way the Oriental mind functions compared to the Occidental mind. They're not as brittle about being criticized as people here are led to believe. You have people more fearful to speak out about our government today and the truths out there than is often the case in China. What pressure would I have here if I spoke out against the county here and its dark black history and the misplaced priorities of a failed education system compared to coming out and protesting and the feel-good, masturbatory good feeling about being out there and making a difference, quote unquote, by holding up signs to kindred spirits that think the same way you do. USA, it is insane. It's demonic. It has been absolutely, the demonic has just seeped in and captured this society without firing a shot. We see the corruption of power. We see what happened to Hollywood. It's just a shit show down there. AI's coming in. It's just going to clean house. We have Tilly Norwood, the AI-generated character, is coming out with her first movie. Major Motion Picture Studio, Tilly, Norwood. Bye-bye, Hollywood stars and starlets. Well, I don't know. These kids have their own hell to negotiate. We didn't do the current generation any big favors. We're about to find out that there's a cost to be paid for a nation that doesn't produce anything. It tried to get rich on telling other people how to produce things more efficiently. No, it doesn't work that way. You can't maintain a standard of living when AI is totally dynamiting all the support structures and foundations of wealth that was built up over the last 60 years. There's what I call the perils of prosperity. There's a price to be paid for wealth. This person just parks, takes up 2 spots. Well, you have to be careful of socialism and communism that mask envy and jealousy. We had a whole wave of people that came in from Eastern Europe and Russia in the 1880s through the 1920s that came in, and the first thing they wanted to do was espouse revolution. Socialism and communism, the Emma Goldbergs, that ilk. They did nothing to build the nation except sit around their parlors and have their little coffee klatches and vodka klatches on 2 or 3 nights a week and bullshit about how the world is unfair to the workers and shit when they never lifted a finger. They had no stake in the nation. And the country was smart enough then, it just kicked them the hell out. It just said, these are bad seeds, these people that come in from Russia, Eastern Europe, predominantly most of them were Jewish. They all got kicked out. The intelligentsia. The Palmer Act, the Anti-Alien Act, Sedition Act, all those type of things. We don't do that anymore. It's been just a nation of bad ideas, and every single damn one of them was imported. Coincidental? Accidental? It's like somebody shows up at Mystery's house. Oh, I'm your cousin. Gets in there for a day. You know, I don't like the way you run this house. How you doing, Alex? I don't like the way you keep house here. You just go down the list. It's astounding the way this nation was undermined with bad ideas, all of which came from the Russian and Eastern European menace. And because those ideas represent radical change, they are what people grasp onto in the future. The young people will say, yes, this is what we need. We need to go into Mystery's house. We need to go everybody's house and tell them how they should live, how they should think, how much they can earn, how much taxes they need to pay. We're going to have an equal society. In the wall of sand. You know, it's like you look at China. Bad ideas don't creep into China because it's a very homogeneous population. Right? Chinese have the philosophy, Chinese for Chinese people only. That's it. We don't allow the think tanks to come in, the think tanks to set up their alternate ways of this is how we should do capitalism, and the government did this wrong and the government did that wrong. We're a melting pot. We live or die by the ideas that come in here, the frauds that come in, the Somali frauds, the Medicaid frauds, the Medicare frauds. If there's a way to game the system, people will figure it out. You know, I don't know about the gasoline case. You know, basically, you're a pretty weird dude, but whatever, man. We'll say the gasoline cases. Most of the bad shit has come out of Eastern Germany, East Europe, and Russia. Most of the bad ideas in world history. Well, I'm not sure. I don't know if Russia's got it. I have no idea. But you think of the people that immigrated here, the Emma Goldbergs, all that crew from Russia. And the first thing they did when they get to America, they wrote all of their articles about, oh God, we're free from the Tsar. We can say what we want. He's 3,842 miles away. He can't touch us anymore. That horrible, now we can speak freely. Okay. But then what did they immediately turn their attention to? They immediately turned the attention to what's wrong with this country. Oh, you know. no idea about mobility and capitalism and moving up and working harder and saving money. It was just like these people work too hard in factories. They're taken advantage of by these mean owners, you know. Like I said, they go into Mystery's house and they tell her how to keep house. I find that reprehensible. And we've been dealing with the consequences of that for over a century now. America wasn't founded by, social misfits, incompetent people, shiftless people, lazy people. Beware of anybody that wants freebies. So what does John have to do? They don't have to do a damn thing. Keep on keeping on, baby. Keep on keeping on. And Dr. Frankenstein will tell you, where's the first place these people migrated to? Into the colleges and universities to start spreading their poison into there. Bike boy. The government is the Well, unfortunately, Europe being what Europe always is, especially the eastern part of it, it's always continuous trouble from the Balkans right on up to Eastern Europe. Ethnic strife, Muslim versus Christians. Well, Russia's realizing they're not going to be taking Ukraine. Now Russia's starting to feel some of the pain of war. Drones have been the great equalizer. Das Verdanya. Make sure to hit the thumbs up button, guys, if you're just coming in. It is appreciated. Strange to see somebody smoking these days. Yeah, well, it's like my daughter said, the next war is already unfolding in space. She ought to know with the Space Force. Pro-Russian, I don't know why. Well, there's a lot of Russian people in Lithuania. It was what we call a seamless sort of, division after the Cold War. But you'll never get Ukraine back under the control of Russia. That was a stupid idea on the part of Putin. There's rumor Russia may. Oh yeah, well, good luck on that. Yeah, Tribe always talks about Panama. He says it's a great place to retire to. I don't know. I've never been to Panama. I know Li Ka-shing and Hutchinson Whampoa out of Hong Kong, they're still fighting about, who's going to control the canal and all that stuff. Yeah, that's what Tribe said. It's supposed to be a nice place. I think Belize got a little run out, a little ragged out with too many people. Every time somebody talks about a country, it just brings this wave of just nonsense in. I'm not sure, Elmer. I know very little about what's going on between those two countries, I'll be honest. Most of my attention is always focused on the Far East. There's still some arguing, Patty, about who's got to prove it or who doesn't. It's kind of hard to just make a unilateral move and say, well, we just don't think it was right now. I mean, there was a treaty that was signed. There was a protocol for giving the canal back to Panama. I'll tell you one thing, Dr. Frankenstein. It's hard for Russia to sustain, and the losses and both sides, the losses of human life, and just been staggering. You're sending your best and brightest out. These North Koreans go in, they get massacred. They got no idea what the hell they're doing. I have no interest in Russia. I have no interest in Ukraine. Zero. Just no interest. It's like Gulf of America. Patty's like right on it. Go to the front line on the yeah. Hey, how you doing, Harley? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's a nonsensical, stupid. It's stupid, and now it's just a matter of saving face. Like both sides now realize nobody's gonna. Why would China move on Taiwan? Is Taiwan gonna float away and hook itself onto California like some kind of amoeba, some kind of blob to just hook on? You do understand you can stand on Quemoy Island and just see the mainland of China right there. It's just like, what is the gain from, quote, taking Taiwan? It's just like it's not going anywhere. It's in a good, safe holding spot. People of Taiwan are making money hand over fist. The people in China are making money. They're happy. We needed intelligent conversation. Hey, Kelly. No, this what my point is, Harley lady, is that it's not going anywhere. It's, it's like, it's like the status quo is just a beautiful thing. I mean, Taiwan's not going to suddenly send the Kuomintang, the nationalist Chinese, back in boats and conquer Shanghai and start moving south and east, south and west. Well, we gave up that right under Carter when we turned it over to the Panamanian people for the globalism. It was just that push towards recognizing sovereignty of nations in the 70s that, guilty conscience. Nice to see you, Harley lady. But I just, the Chinese are incredibly practical people. Unless war literally lands on their doorstep, they're not an adventuring, they're not a nation that was ever a colonial empire builder. They understand there's more influence with money than bullets. Yeah, they didn't build a dime for it, but being a magnanimous nation, people forget the yellow fever and the malaria deaths of the French misadventures in building the Panama Canal. But what's done was done. We can say it was just a bad move, and at the time people were applauding it. It's like, this neo-colonialism is done, yay, and it's like we set a good example for sovereignty and for self-determination and self-rule. I mean, I was in just getting into college and political science and shit. I remember I read the New York Times every day, Brzezinski. Yeah, but I'm saying we have the rite of passage. Yeah, so which treaty supersedes? The one we regret we did? I mean, suppose the Dutch come and say, you know what, we probably made a mistake selling you Manhattan or turning over Manhattan. Yeah, we kind of voted at The Hague. We want it back. Now, you're either going to give it to us or we're just going to take it by force. Or the Russia says, you know what? We really screwed up in 1863 by letting this little rat Seward buy Alaska. This little bastard, now look at how much riches and gold and oil and whale blubber and seal blubber. You know what? We want it back. It's been a long time. Well, it's good to see you back. Oh, you're just moving on. I'm getting ready to go down to Vegas and LA. Yeah, it was a goodwill gesture. Remember, Carter was a statesman first and foremost. He wasn't an economist, God knows, but there was that. Remember Dr. Frankenstein, I'm older than you. We had that liberation theology. that whole deal, the guilt tripping of colonialism, and it was terrible what was done to indigenous people. The pendulum had to start swinging back. People had to take responsibility and say, yeah, it was bad in a lot of ways, but now the pendulum swung too far the other way. Like nothing was good about that. I'm back here in Vegas. Yeah, I don't know, that's right in my wheelhouse. 107, 108, 110. That's okay with me. As long as I have my battery packs, my coolers, my drinks, I'm all good to go. The country that really loses from all this, well, they gain and they lose, is Israel. They've gained, missiles stopping fired, and they've destroyed Iran's ability to export terrorism, at least for a time. But they've lost a lot of the goodwill that they accumulated in the United States. I don't think sentiment has ever been as anti-Israel as it is, well, at least in my lifetime. Yeah, I think Hutchinson Whampoa cut a deal with Li Ka-shing's company out of Hong Kong, his big shipping and telecommunications, cut a deal with Panama to run the canal. Yeah, it's 70 degrees here, soon to be 68. Debbie Lynn, how you doing? Yeah, it's Hutchinson Whampoa. It's a Hong Kong company. Elmer, I don't follow World Cup, babe. It could be 10-0 Belgium against the U.S. I wouldn't lose a bit of sleep, babe. I would not lose a bit of sleep. To me, the World Cup is just a blur on the way to college football season. That's it. into guys kicking a white ball around for 90 minutes. I mean, doctor, look at other ones in purchases and stuff. Look at the whole Louisiana territory. France needs money to fight its endless wars, so it's happy to sell the Louisiana territory. Keep fighting forever over there. Must be really the one is sort of an interest in the outcome. The Louisiana Purchase. Yeah, the Alaska Purchase. It was just they wanted money. William Seward, the Secretary of State, took all kinds of hell for it. Ended up almost dying when Lincoln assassination. Nobody spares a thought for that poor guy stabbed in the throat. Doctor, it's all a clusterfuck. The Mexican-American War, the Spanish-American War, it's all a cluster. Yes, Louisiana is on the French system of justice, unlike any other state. The Napoleonic Code. They have a lot of things, it's all on the Napoleonic system. Debbie Lynn, you have to have that, it's like in the coldest places, they send their kids to school in the morning, they give them a piece of seal blubber to chew on all day. All that high fat grease dribbling down the chin and they're getting on your gloves. And you're gnawing on that all day, keeping you warm. It's like an all-day sucker. There you go. So nobody's going to tell you anything about New Orleans, Dr. Frankenstein. I don't know. Those kids couldn't wait to get their grubby little hand on that piece of blubber every day, Debbie Lynn. They just couldn't wait to get their hands on that. You can imagine that grease just everywhere. Classrooms dripping on paper and pencils and... You gotta have that super high calorie, pure fat diet. They're doing good, Debbie Lynn. I thought you'd be back in Greenville, North Carolina. Upcountry Carolina there. I heard T.R. Prepper's house burned down. I don't think in my lifetime I've seen so many people in such terrible shape. The seals. And they like crap. Well, I gotta get a haircut tomorrow. My mom just passed, so I'm sorry to hear that. I thought you liked that out down there in Greenville. Yeah, he lived over in Travelers Rest. I thought you liked it down there in Greenville. I'm sorry I never got downtown to look around a little bit. Seal blubber or the ball sacks? Good question, Mystery. I guess if you really barbecued up, like get that nice and crispy, that ball sack. The blubber could be a bit juicy. Yeah, I think it was over in like northern Russia, like the coldest place in somewhere. And their mother would line the kids up in the morning, and line the kids up in the morning and give them all a slice of blubber and give each one a. The kids were like drooling before the blubber even hit their mouth. Seems like everybody's in bad shape now. Who else, Debbie Lynn? Francis? Yeah, I don't know. I avoid any donations that I don't know exactly where it is, and it's got to have exactly zero overhead to it. I don't want to wonder. That's why I won't support the Redwood Empire Food Bank here, because they have 10 people up there and making anywhere from $100,000 to $250,000. That's fine. You can do it. Enjoy. But I'm just saying, no. I did big. Well, was that a rental house, or did your wife own that house there? Chew the fat comes, exactly. We're going to chew the blubber, Mystery. How you doing, Edwin? Yeah, I know, Judy. I'm so glad you went down and were able to spend some time down there. You've been wonderful. Yeah, I believe Francis passed away. He got corrupt. It's just, I think when you get older, you start to recognize that everything tends towards corruption over time. I have no idea, Debbie. I haven't seen Amanda in 7 years. That's why I ask people to start saving now. I need 100 people with $100 a pop. Yeah, Judy saw the realities of down there. Did you ever think anything was wasted there, Judy? Kedu Mama Independence Day. That's beautiful, Edwin. Now it's my favorite time of year to be down there. I like December too. Oh, that's right. I forgot you sold the house. Yeah, waste nothing. That's my kind of. That's why I get involved. I just can't do the. When I started looking into the Redwood Empire Food Bank, and I just thought it looks more like a jobs thing, and then they do, I don't know how they pre-qualify people. I don't know. And Debbie Lynn, you also know that Drury died. I told you that before. Yeah, we all thought you went on to Nashville and down the Opry. Never died. Francis with me, yeah. I guess the mung beans and the beef hot. I think Francis was broken-hearted that he could never reconcile with his son. I think that's what did it. Yeah, we got kind of a new crew. There's some older. Nicole still comes in. Shay comes in once in a while. Ricky, Tribe. There's supposedly a second generation of Boyd, but it's evidently it's a poor imitation of it. Yeah, that's what people said. I need to start doing lives. They'd be coming out of the woodwork. Jimmy Rance is around, Debbie Lynn. He's doing content. Yeah, make sure you cheer, Elmer. I think Mystery Debbie Lynn means panel chats. I used to have me and 9 other people on chats. every Saturday and every Saturday and every Wednesday. Yeah, Dory Lynn. I haven't seen Dory Lynn in a while. I hope she's okay. Oh, there she is. Hey, Dory Lynn. Oh, shit. There she is. We've been missing you. Well, I did get noticed. Did you do a show for them? Brandon, I might cook up something Italian. I might make some I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what I want to eat tonight. Maybe a sandwich. I don't know. I'm in no rush to eat tonight. I'm feeling a bit peckish. Always nice to see Dory Lynn. She's a doll. Okay, well, I got an igloo too. Yeah, nice to see you, Dory Lynn. We've been missing you, babe. We got Debbie Lynn and be fun to get Narce on a panel. It was fine, Ed, when I partied my sack off on Independence Day. I tried to get them to come back and live back at the house, but they got upset with me. Francis did. You tried to get who come back? Who? The guy with the blow-up doll? That guy you had to punch out? I can still see those feet from that blow-up doll waving in the breeze out in the trash can. Shit. Oh, they're not original now. They're all of them are like, oh no, I don't know. They're all on heavy medications and shit. They're yeah. Tribe comes in. Shay comes around. Ricky. We got Dory Lynn. She's as OG as they come. Yeah, we used to have a blast. I just have to set it up and do it, Debbie Lynn. Yeah, that Taylor Swift and Travis wedding just brought the world to a halt. We're waiting for the big feature film. One of these goofs has video that they took. Somebody didn't sign an NDA in there. Hey, it's Francis. How are you? Debbie Lynn is here. We're gonna have some mung beans. We're gonna have some mung beans. Everybody like Debbie Lynn's cooking those beans. I'm not sure when it would be. Where everybody lost track of you, Debbie Lynn. They thought you were in Nashville doing a record or CD or something. But then you said you got all balled up with some bad manager or something. I can't remember what you said. She wanted to do video like we were wrestling and started acting. I tried to come back after they moved down and they got us to want to do videos like we were wrestling, and she started acting. God, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. You might have had a situation on your hand having to take care of with all that heart trouble and everything else, and you know, having to deal with all the health issues. Yeah, the big blow up doll feed in the garbage can blowing in. You can imagine a garbage man coming down the street like, what the hell, man? Yeah, those were some kind of times, Debbie Lynn. Some kind of times, babe. The answer's blowing in the wind. Yeah, you gotta hit my email with your channel link. Just send it. I can make it like new at gmail.com. You got my email. Still the same Gmail. I'd get a hold of Jimmy Rance and Narce, probably Elvis. Let's see if anything is going on downtown. Tomorrow I gotta get a haircut. I'm not sure, Debbie Lynn. I have no idea. I know Nicole is still, she hadn't detransitioned. Trying to think. Tara's still dressing. A lot of people just fell off the map. Francis was living near Drury, one in the next trailer park over in Ocala, in that, I don't know if it's Ocala, somewhere in the I don't want to say St. Pete, but Clearwater, Tampa, Beef Hots. Hey, Debbie Lynn, how are you? I'm making some mung beans today. Francis loved his cooking set. He was so proud of that cooking set. That couple $100 set. I'm having some mung beans, Debbie Lynn. I'm having some mung beans. Are you still playing guitar, Debbie Lynn? Are you still trying to get to Nashville, or did you give up on that dream? Problem is, there's so many bullshitters in the entertainment business that blow smoke up everybody's bum. How did they steal it? I know how people get their YouTube channels stolen. They fall prey to the, oh, we're going to send you this product free, fill out this form. Second they send it back, their channel's been hijacked. That happened to Mike Living Free, and he's still whining about his life. About how he got dealt a dirty deed, man. Well, you know, greed costs. They said he made a comment. He was dry begging about he needed, his GoPro was running out, and I guess the scammers heard it, and that was their cue. So they immediately sent a letter like, "Oh, yeah, we heard your GoPro's bad. We're gonna send you a GoPro for free. All you have to do is make a video about it." Man, he couldn't jump on that fast enough. As soon as he filled out the form, clicked send, within 5 seconds, his whole channel was commandeered, gone. I communicate with Missy Jen every single day without fail. Every single day. She's still trucking on. Keep it coming, love. Keep it coming, love. Do, 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 do. Yeah, it would be. Yeah, I don't know what happened to Tillman. I don't know if he died or whatever. I don't know. Chillyman. Pick a lane, dude. Pick a lane. We're going to have In and Out. I do have calling once in a while, Debbie Lane. You ought to call in sometime. Yeah, Corey still uploads once in a while. Her husband went through all kinds of hell with diverticulitis. Guy almost died. Refresh your connection, Debbie Lynn. You're way behind. Somebody type in there to Debbie Lynn, refresh your connection. She's like 10 minutes behind. Well, they ought to get you on a contract or something. Hell, it's been years. Hey, it's Francis. How are ya? What are they doing with the channel now? What are they doing with the channel they stole from you? Are they running Bitcoin advertising on it or something? Thank you, Judy. Like 10 minutes behind. He shouldn't have been in Congress that long. Yeah, I'm gonna cry myself to sleep tonight, Kelly. I, for one, can't wait till World Cup is over. These people nuts around here last night when Mexico lost. They never in a million years thought Mexico would lose. Yeah, I'm not a soccer person. To me, when the World Cup is over, interest will collapse again. It's like trying to get people to use the metric system. So where do you stand now, Debbie Lynn, with all the producers and everything? Oh. La cucaracha, la cucaracha. Yeah, I was just wondering if they did anything with your Twitter when they took it. I was just curious. Some of these thieving mofos. Getting so you can't trust anybody, Debbie Lynn.
Yo verás.
For the management of power to enter instantly and quickly and exercise its national and administrative duties and responsibilities.
Maine's Democratic Senate hopeful Graham Plattner faces new allegations of
Oh
sexual
man, this is
misconduct.
bad news.
I wanted to directly address the troubling, serious, and false allegations against me. Any accusation of non-consensual behavior is categorically false.
And President Trump's aggressive cost-cutting agency DOGE is officially shut down.
It's clear that what Doge did was
Doge is gone.
they cutting a lot of people.
You're upset
A lot
with
of federal government
Pat?
employees who were doing great work. They didn't know what they were talking
What's going
about
with
when they
it? I don't
advocated
even
for
mess
those
with that. I
cuts.
don't even
And they
know.
quickly realized that they had to bring people back.
These stories and more coming up. From the studios of KPFA in Berkeley, this is the Pacifica Evening News. I'm Scott Baba. Peace in Gaza may be one step closer to fruition as Hamas made major concessions today. Lauren Schmidt reports.
Hamas says it has dissolved its governing authority in Gaza and is preparing to transfer administrative responsibilities to a United Nations-backed technical committee as part of the U.S. brokered ceasefire agreement. Speaking from Deir al-Balah, Ismail Athawata said technical and professional staff would remain in place to oversee day-to-day government services.
His Excellency, the brother, Chairman of the Government Emergency Committee and acting head of Government Follow-Up, Mr. Mohammed Abdul Khalik Al-Farah, decided to submit his official resignation from his position, as well as to announce the dissolution of the Government Emergency Committee in confirmation of the seriousness of the procedures and implementation of the agreements and to facilitate the administrative transition process.
Al-Thawabta said the move demonstrates Hamas's commitment to Gaza's reconstruction after years of war. However, he did not say whether the group would disarm or transfer security responsibilities to an international force, one of the key unresolved issues in the ceasefire negotiations.
We call upon all relevant and competent parties to expedite the immediate steps for the National Committee for the Management of Gaza to enter instantly and quickly and exercise its national and administrative duties and responsibilities in order to strengthen the resilience of our Palestinian people.
Israel, however, has dismissed the announcement as insignificant. But the U.S.-backed so-called Board of Peace, the body tasked with overseeing Gaza's post-war government and reconstruction, acknowledged the announcement in a statement posting to X, saying it would judge Hamas by its actions rather than its promises. The board also said any future
any peace over there is a good thing in my mind.
weapons in Gaza.
Oh, that's it, Debbie Lynn. That's the fabled wall of sound, honey.
Preparations for the transfer of administrative
That is the
authority
fabled wall of sound.
to Palestinian factions, local leaders, and a United Nations observer. The announcement.
Every one of them is unique.
Ceasefire took effect.
My favorites are right here on this
Second
row.
phase remains stalled.
My absolute favorite is the Fisher 800B.
Hamas's future role.
Each one of these has a solid
Gaza's long-term
walnut cabinet on them.
While the political process remains
Beautiful,
deadlocked,
pristine face
conditions for
places,
civilians
face
in
plates.
Gaza continue to deteriorate. Although large-scale fighting has declined since the ceasefire began, military operations continue almost daily. Gaza health officials said at least 5 people were killed today in the strike, while humanitarian agencies continue to warn.
Yeah, if I'm in Gaza, I'm like, shit, if they're willing to pour all these billions into rebuilding, why are we fighting? Let's take the money, man.
Camp in southern Gaza.
Let's take the money.
Summer heat has
The
become
money, honey.
struggle. With much of Gaza's power infrastructure destroyed, many tents offer little protection from extreme temperatures. And parents like Nida Abu Shuara says her children struggle to sleep through the night.
At night, we do not sleep. It is hot in the morning, at night, and all day. It is hot. We are exhausted. We are tired. This is not a life. We live on the street.
And her
These are like the worst peanuts, man.
Relief is minimal.
All day you have to put him in a plastic wash tub. The water itself is a form of suffering. If it were not for the truck that comes here, there is no system to have water delivered to your tent. You have to go with a couple of jerry cans to fill water. I use the water, and now we don't have any. We live on the street, not like we used to. There is no wall.
The world is running out of water.
There's no fan and no electricity. We live in a tent on the street.
When meaningful relief will reach Palestinians remains unclear. But the UN-backed technical
I wonder how they took over your Twitter,
former
Debbie
Palestinian
Lynn.
Authority official Ahmed Sha'ah has been tasked with restoring essential services and overseeing civilian affairs.
Thank you, Alan Gentry. Thank you.
In a statement posted
Thank you,
to
Alan.
Sha'ah
I
welcomed
appreciate you. Thank you. I hope you're going to be around when I'm in LA and Vegas.
Gaza is governed under a single
Oh, yeah.
For KPFA News.
It's our peak time of year for Vegas.
An Israeli strike on a vehicle in southern Lebanon killed 4 people today.
Peanuts are
including a
terrible.
Principal, one of the deadliest attacks since the ceasefire took hold last month. Lebanon's health ministry identified the victims as Principal Esperanza Gondor, her mother,
That's great.
a domestic worker, and a male laborer.
That's outstanding news.
Gander had been checking on repairs to her war-damaged home when the vehicle was hit. The Israeli military said it targeted the vehicle.
Debbie Lynn, you should write your life story.
Security zone in southern Lebanon, posing a threat to its forces. The strike is raising fears in a region where a fragile calm had only recently returned. One resident told Reuters the attack, quote, brought the fear back all over again. Israel said the security zone extending about 6 miles into Lebanese territory
Thank you.
needed to protect its northern communities from Hezbollah.
Thank you, DJ.
Lebanon said the continued Israeli
Thank you for
presence
being here.
violates its sovereignty. The fighting has killed more than 4,300 people in Lebanon and at least 36 in Israel since March. Meanwhile, Christian villages in southern Lebanon are pushing back against a claim from Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.
Debbie Lynn.
Some of them asked to be annexed by Israel. Netanyahu told Fox News over the weekend that
Remember old vlogger Puppet?
Christian villages sought protection from Hezbollah by requesting annexation.
We have many, many friends, and I have to tell you, we also take care of our friends, especially the Christians in the Middle East. The Christian villages in Lebanon, some of them have actually asked to be annexed to Israel because we protect them against the Hezbollah.
Hey, MB, how you doing, babe?
Fanatics who want to kill them.
Nice to see you. We're just hanging out for a little bit.
Well, you're leading. He didn't name specific villages or say whether
After tomorrow, I'm taking off for
15 Christian border towns
Point South.
Statement in rejecting the claim. The mayor of Ramesh Hana Al-Mil called it, quote, completely false, and said the idea was absolutely unthinkable. Villages say they remain loyal to the Lebanese state, describing themselves as, quote, the beating heart of Lebanon, and accuse Netanyahu of misrepresenting their position for unrelated political goals. Israel's foreign and defense ministers have both said Israel has no territorial ambitions in Lebanon, though Israeli forces say they will remain in a southern security zone as long as Hezbollah poses a threat. Mourners dressed in black have flooded into Iran's capital for a procession as part of the funeral of the late Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Charles Dillademo reports.
Mourners dressed in black flooded into Iran's capital on Monday for a procession
Hey, Ken.
of the funeral of the late Supreme
Hi,
Leader
Mystery. I enjoy my peanuts.
with throngs of people calling for the death of President Donald Trump. Khamenei's flag-draped coffin and those of members of his family killed on February 28 were on a truck decorated to resemble
Death to Trump.
the grating that surrounds the shrine of an imam. The truck crept through the crowds who reached out to touch the grating. Some threw scarves and other items for attendants to rub against the coffin, a common practice in Iran seen as a blessing. Attendants sprayed misted water across the crowds to cool them in the high summertime temperatures. The massive turnout
It must be hot in there, Rob.
as a sign of
Iran.
comes as it negotiates with the US over a permanent end to the war that killed the 86-year-old cleric. I'm Charles Ledesma.
NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte today demanded that members put forward clear, concrete, and credible plans to reach the organization's defense spending targets at its annual summit in Ankara. President Donald Trump is headed to the control of the summit. He's frequently complained about NATO allies.
Rutte spoke in Ankara before the two-day summit starting on Tuesday, at a crucial point for the alliance, but the United States is scaling down its security role in Europe. Washington has personnel to shoulder more of the security. Rutte said he was calling on negotiations about 3.5%.
Yeah, it's going to be crispy in Vegas, but so what?
1.5% on roads.
We'll get by. We go from Shade Island to Shade Island.
So troops and equipment can move faster in times of conflict.
I'm always very careful to stay hydrated.
Contact with President Trump.
I had a close visit last week with President Trump, and we discussed
Very careful.
increase in defense spending by Europeans and Canadians. And of course, this is because of Putin and Russia and Ukraine, but also because he, President Trump, has been extremely forceful, encouraging us to do this.
The alliance formed in 1949, just a few years after World War II and at the height of the Cold War. Its purpose was to protect Western Europe from Soviet aggression.
When are you moving,
Going back
Mystery?
to his first term, President Trump has been skeptical of NATO's purpose in today's world. He's been consistently critical of allies' contributions.
If we're spending all of this money, just hundreds of millions of dollars to protect them from Russia, mostly. Okay, so we're spending hundreds of millions of dollars a year. You know, the case could be made that we spent
Mid-August.
all of the money over the years before me. I cut it back. But listen,
You already like that area up there.
and then when we want to maybe have help on small stuff, this is small time. This is not the big one. This is small potatoes. know would rather not know.
For its part, Spain endorsed the goal but said it could fulfill NATO's security requirements without spending so much. Some countries are still struggling to meet the alliance's old target of 2% of GDP. British Defense Secretary Dan Jarvis recently told Parliament that Britain has been committed to increasing its military budget.
Hey, Melody, it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot colder up country there.
Around the UK in recent years.
Defence spending will now increase in real terms by 27% between 2023 and 2024 and 2029 and 2030. That is a bigger increase across a parliament than any present member of this House.
NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte said NATO estimates that they will have invested a combined $258 billion more in defense in 2025 and this year than they have in previous years. For KPFA News,
How you doing, Melody?
The ongoing Ebola outbreak in central Congo has been complicated further as a continued distrust towards medical workers, rebel activity, and a disruption of the economy
just can't
play a
win.
role in the deterioration of the situation. KPFA YouthWorks intern Amina Gordon has this.
Ebola continues to spread at a rapid rate in the eastern region of the Democratic Republic of the Congo, nearly 2 months since the outbreak was declared. Of the 17 Ebola epidemics, the DRC
I guess that's their fault.
the strain of Indibujo is currently the third largest, with
Ebola, I hear there's germs are
the
spreading.
CDC has confirmed nearly 1,600 cases and 510 deaths across the DRC.
Ebola.
Per The Guardian, the West African Ebola outbreak of the mid-2010s had 240 cases and 160 deaths at the same stage. That outbreak went on to infect more than 28,000 people and take the lives of 11,000. Part of the danger lies in the fact that the strain has a long incubation period, able to reside in an infected body for up to 21 days without symptoms
Nothing bad at Ebola.
allowing for extensive amounts of
Gamblers, what's going on? I'm enjoying a cold one.
Whereas COVID-19
I am.
has an average incubation period of
My
less than
last full night before getaway on Wednesday.
disputes run rampant.
I'm
Over
LA
30 years of
bound.
conflict has caused unrest in the region, with much of the area under rebel control, leading to difficulties
I'm going to be
in
going
access
over
to
the
necessary
grapevine
health centers. In
and into
eastern
the LA
district of
basin.
Goma, M23 rebels have seized the city's airport since
I'm
early last
southbound
year.
and
The
down.
previous closure of the Congo-Rwanda border in Goma.
So I just got to pack up.
When workers do
I'm going to be
arrive at health
taking the
centers,
van.
they face distrust from the
I don't think the
surrounding
temperature is going to
communities,
be
with one
that
the
much of
biggest
a deterrent
challenges
for
being
me.
getting people to understand the role aid
So,
workers can play
I'm gonna
in getting
take
a
it
handle
along.
on the outbreak. Dr. Jean
I might
Hosea,
change my
Director
mind
General
before
of the
tomorrow, but
Africa CDC,
I don't know. You know,
states, quote,
half of me
"We
wants to
cannot
give the
stop this
truck a
outbreak
good run,
without resolving the humanitarian issue," end
and
quote.
half of me wants to just take the van because all of my tools and crap are in there.
Estimates over 8,000 cases and 1,400 deaths by mid-September.
And I got all of my
And yet,
crap
the
in there.
worst-case scenario,
In case I have to
cases
do a
can reach
project or
over
something.
60,000. But officials are working fast to counteract transmission. WHO Regional Director for Africa, Mohamed Janabi, says a clinical trial evaluating potential
So I'm looking
treatments for
forward
the
to being
virus
down
began
there.
on
So
Thursday,
I'll be in
with the
LA
ultimate goal being a
Wednesday
vaccine for the
through
Indibujo strain.
through
Janabi
Saturday,
also
then
assures that
Sunday
improvements are being
I
made
take
to
off for a
contact
week
tracing.
in Vegas.
South
And I'll be
African
back
President
on
Cyril
Monday.
Ramaphosa met with
I don't
Congolese
know whether it's the
President Felix
18th or
Tshisekedi,
19th, something
Dr.
like that.
Hosea, and other regional health leaders on July
So
2nd
yeah,
to
it'll
address
be a
the
good
ongoing outbreak
it'll be a
and
good
speaks to his
break.
hope of development of a vaccine.
I do share Dr. Kaseya's hope that we should be able, as we work very hard, to even have a vaccine for this.
Oh man, I don't know why sometimes this chat doesn't advance. Yeah, we'll definitely have a cookout at the Z House. I should gather some wood tomorrow in a box and take that down too. For sure. Absolutely, positively. Definitely, people love that cookout at the Z-Man's. Yeah, it'll be fun.
Of eastern Congo
gonna try to do some reviews. My daughter really enjoyed doing food reviews.
Of a vaccine on the horizon. Those affected by Ebola are
Strange
far
and
from out of the
bizarre
woods
it
as the
is.
United Nations Development Program warns about the
It
economic
is,
impact of this
especially in
crisis.
winter time.
The UNDP warns this
I have
outbreak
plenty
said
of
a
water,
million
mystery.
people
I don't go anywhere on the streets of Vegas without, now I'm not going to take my guitar with me,
in terms of containment.
without taking my, a lot of H2O, and then I'll have like Gatorade Zero while I'm out on my walks.
Intersection between the outbreak,
And then we stop and get a little mini,
is urging government officials
and that's real nice. Towards the end of the walk, we stop, we down a mini on what the hell is it?
spread in the Congo.
Charleston.
No new cases have been reported in Uganda since June 21st.
Pick up a few minis this time. Put them into my carry bag,
A
which is
nationwide
nice.
fuel crisis is spreading across Russia as Ukraine's drone campaign against Russian refineries takes a growing toll, even as Moscow launches a massive new assault on Ukraine. Russia fired a barrage of missiles and drones at Ukraine, killing at least 22 people. 15 died in Kyiv, Russia's main target, with 6 more killed in the surrounding region. Ukraine's Air Force said all 29 ballistic missiles fired.
I like to have a maker's mark. I don't know if they have Woodford Reserves, a little expensive. Maker's mark, Courvoisier, VSOP. Well, I know 2 places. One down at the end near the Stratosphere. Well, people love to go down to the wedding area on Las Vegas Boulevard, and I know at the end there's a place you get minis down there. And then what else do I like to get? Elijah Craig is a good one. It kind of gives you a little reward before you get back to the the Atomic Lounge at the end of the night. I mean, then you really feel like you've accomplished something. 6 hours in the heat and having a great stream. So we always find like there's weddings going on. Believe it or not, people get married when it's so wretched down there.
Ukraine also struck fuel storage and drone facilities in occupied Crimea and Luhansk today. Russia has vowed to retaliate. Dashna Chernachova reports.
Moscow says in response to all of those attacks, they are.
Yeah, keep fighting, boys. Just keep fighting. It starts to get a little tiresome after a while. So we're definitely going to run the program. So I got 2 routes. The third route, Monkey Boy wants to go do some. The weather will be whatever it is. Melody, it never stops us. Monkey Boy wants to do some Black Widow hunting, which I think will be fine. If it's anywhere below 115 degrees, Melody, I'm good. 115 to 123, which has been my top limit for the longest continuous live stream on YouTube, the hottest, longest continuous. That's still doable. People like to see where the guy disappeared in his hover chair, just plain disappeared. One of the weirdest and most unexplained events in the history of live streaming, to have a guy literally disappear in his electric hover chair right on camera. Yeah, I'm tough.
Hundreds of schools across the United Kingdom were forced to close during Europe's latest record-breaking heat wave. Because of the
This sounds like a 10-year-old. We do about 7 to 8 miles. 7 to 8 miles.
Slightly, if at all, allowing heat to build up indoors. According to the Associated Press, more than 1,000 schools across the UK closed for multiple days or sent students home early in late June as record temperatures swept across Europe. The closures disrupted learning and left many working parents scrambling to
Who would notice if it was disrupted earning anyway? I generally go 7 to 8 miles per live stream, Ken.
infrastructure, including schools.
Like I will
hospitals,
go
and
down
airports,
Vegas
have been hit the
Boulevard,
In a recent
Fremont
report,
Street,
the
then
British
down
government's climate advisors said
Charleston,
many public buildings were built for a climate that no
stop at
longer
a 7-Eleven. You know, we'll be back through some of the rough areas and stuff like that. So, oh yeah, Judy, when I get to the Atomic Lounge, it's like finding a oasis in the middle of the desert.
Teachers used handheld fans and spray bottles, while some cafeterias
It is just a beautiful, beautiful thing. It's like, it's glorious. Absolutely glorious.
Many school buildings constructed in the 1950s.
Yeah, I hope you'll be around, Melody. I know you're on hiatus, and I respect that tremendously. But Vegas is one of those things that we bring a lot of new people to the channel. Yeah, home sweet home, that Atomic. You know what? Remember, Judy, how they teased me for the first time I went or whatever? They had the meatball sub. It was glorious, and then
there would have been more resilience put into the building. Now, there was
no more meatball sub.
Make use of prevailing
too much work for the kitchen to do that. That was disappointing. Please hit the thumbs up, guys, if you've not hit the thumbs up yet. I appreciate it. I guess Debbie Lynn left.
We will have to make retrofitting adaptations so that we can continue to use it all the time during the summer months.
Woods says the school is considering installing air conditioning in at least part of the campus, but funding remains a challenge after years of tight education budgets.
As we see from what scientists tell us, summers are going to continue to get hotter, extreme events are going to become more frequent. So given it was only a week ago we had the extreme event, we're already looking at some longer term things like tree planting to provide shade onto buildings, external screening on windows, solar film to reflect some of the glare. We will consider options like air conditioning in particular parts of the buildings where we think it will have
Terrible.
an impact.
Geez, Elmer, you would think Germany won.
Extremely quickly. These are long-term plans, and also it means for government.
The way Elmer's talking, it's like all of a sudden he's Belgian. All right, guys. Well, that's going to do it for me tonight. I don't even know what the hell time it is. Been live for about 3.5 hours. I'm going to call it a short one tonight. Tomorrow night's going to be a short one, too. We're going to go to In-N-Outs. I'm going to get all packed up tomorrow and ready for the trip. To my moderators, thank you very much. Debbie Lynn, good to see you. Thank you, Ronnie. Thank you, Judy. I don't think I saw Shemay tonight. It was good to see Dory Lynn pop in tonight. Thank you, everybody. Mystery, Melody popped in tonight. Judy, thank you for everything that you do. I am very, very appreciative. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks, guys. Please hit that thumbs up button.
Threatens our water security, food production, and economic stability. When those systems fail, the risks aren't abstract.